The Forgotten Village. I was never the adventurous type. But that changed when I got lost on a road trip. It was supposed to be a simple weekend getaway. Just me, my camera, and the open road. No fixed destination, just driving wherever the road took me. But somewhere along the way my GPS died. My phone lost signal. The gas station I had passed miles ago was the last sign of civilization. Now, I was surrounded by nothing but dense trees and an empty road stretching ahead. Then out of nowhere I saw it. A village. Small, peaceful, almost too perfect. Quaint little houses, a tiny marketplace, people walking around in simple clothes, smiling as they went about their day. No streetlights, no cars, no modern signs. It wasn't on any map. No billboards, no indication that this place even existed. At this point I was exhausted. Maybe I'd taken a wrong turn and ended up in some historic town that preserved its old ways. I parked my car near the entrance and stepped out. The air smelled fresh, like earth after a night of rain. The people looked at me but didn't seem surprised to see a stranger. As I walked further in, I approached a fruit vendor, an old man with a kind face. "Excuse me," I said, "where am I?" The old man simply smiled. "You're home." I let out a nervous laugh. "No, I mean, what's this place called?" His smile didn't fade. "You don't remember?" I frowned. "Remember what?" Before he could answer, I heard a gasp. A woman, probably in her late 40s, had stopped mid-step. Her eyes were locked onto me, wide with shock. "It's you," she whispered. I hesitated. "Me?" Tears welled up in her eyes. "You came back. After all these years." My chest tightened. I had never seen this woman before. "I think you're mistaking me for someone else," I said cautiously. She shook her head. "No. I'd know you anywhere." A little girl, maybe 6 or 7, ran up to me and grabbed my hand. "You promised to come back," she said, her voice filled with excitement. I stared at her, my heart pounding. I don't know what you're talking about." The villagers exchanged glances. Some nodded to each other as if they had expected this. The old man sighed. "Memories fade, but the place never forgets." I suddenly felt lightheaded. My hands were cold and clammy. My body was telling me to run, but my legs wouldn't move. I needed answers. Spotting a small, dusty library on the side of the road, I pushed the wooden door open and stepped inside. It smelled of old paper and time. Shelves lined with worn books and yellowed newspapers filled the dimly lit room. I walked over to a table stacked with old newspapers and started flipping through them. I saw it. A newspaper from 1998. The headline sent a chill down my spine. "Local boy goes missing, presumed dead." And beneath it, my own face. My breath caught in my throat. My hands trembled as I read further. According to the article, I had lived in this village as a child. One summer I went missing. My parents searched for me for years, but I was never found. But that wasn't possible. I had no memory of this place. None of these people. My childhood had been normal, or so I thought. Then I heard a voice behind me. The woman from earlier stood in the doorway, her expression unreadable. "You were taken," she said softly. The room spun. My vision blurred. And suddenly the memories came flooding back.